Good day everyone, this is the Group 1 and in this video, we are going to talk about the contemporary authors from the Cebu province. So there are many contemporary authors from the Cebu province, but in this video, we're just gonna tackle only 10 authors. So let's start with our first author. We have Erlinda Quintanar Alburo. So Erlinda Quintanar Alburo is a prolific contemporary Cebuano language scholar and promoter of the language. Erlinda pens down poems in both English and Cebuano language. And she also has a close association with Cebu City. She is the director of Cebuano Studies Center, which is included in University of San Carlos. She teaches literature, English, and research. She completed her PhD from Silliman University in the field of literature. Erlinda has been involved in many works and contributed towards betterment of the society. The Falgao Memorial Writers Workshop of Cebu, which takes place once in a year, is arranged by Alburo. So she plays an active role in the Women in Literary Arts or WILA. Now we have here just some of her works. First is the Cebu Provincial History Project, Cluster 1 Editor, and followed by the Sinug-a, a Cebuano trio by Erlinda Q. Alburo, Cora Almirio, and Esther Tapia. Then her Dulaang Cebuano, edited by Erlinda Q. Alburo, Rizal Mojares, and Don Bagusara. And the Panulaang Cebuano, which is collected by Erlinda Q. Alburo, and with introduction by Rizal B. Mojares. Another one is the Cebuano Poetry, Cebuanong Balak, which is edited and translated by Erlinda Q. Alburo. Then the Centering Voices, an anthology, edited by Erlinda Q. Alburo, Irma M. Quezon, and Maria Paloma A. San Diego. And last on the list is the Cebuano Folk Songs. Editor and translator is Erlinda Q. Alburo. And then let's move on to her awards. In 2012, Dr. Quintanar Alburo was honored at the 79th NRCP Awards for her contributions to cultural research of literature, folklore, linguistics, and history of the Philippines. I believe this is not her only award, but this is the only one that we saw on internet, and there's no any other award that was written there, so that's why her awards in here is just only one. The next writer on the list is Cecilia Manguera Brainard. She is a Filipina author of fiction based in California, USA. She was born in Cebu, Philippines, and attended St. Teresa's College in Cebu and in San Marcelino, Manila. Brainard's works include the internationally acclaimed novel When the Rainbow Goddess Wept, Woman with Horns and Other Stories, and Philippine Women in America. She is the editor of the anthology Fiction by Filipinos in America and teaches creative writing at the Writers Program of UCLA Extension. She is also the author and editor of over a dozen of books, 250 published essays, and 4 dozen stories. Some of her works are a la carte food and fiction, contemporary fiction by Filipinos in America, fiction by Filipinos in America, Growing Up Filipino, stories for young adults, and Growing Up Filipino 2, more stories for young adults, and The 7 Stories from 7 Sisters, a collection of Philippine folktales, and lastly, The Beginning and Other Asian Folktales. And now let's talk about her awards. First award is the California Arts Council Fellowship in Fiction, and then the Brody Arts Fan Award, Special Recognition Award for her work dealing with Asian American youths, the Certificate of Recognition from the California State Senate, and the Outstanding Individual Award from her birth city of Cebu, Philippines. Now let's move on to our next author, Miss Hope Saban-Panyu. Hope Saban-Panyu is a short story writer, poet from Cebu City, Philippines. She also serves as the Central Visayas Coordinator of the National Committee on Literary Arts, or NCLA. She is the Secretary of Women's Studies Association of the Philippines, or the WSAP. She is a member of the Women in Literary Arts and Bathalan og Halad sa Dagang. Hope writes both in Cebuano and in English. She also has translated several authors of Cebuano fiction. Some of her works are Paglaom 2000, Ang Tingog ni Maria 2001, Beads 2002, Mga Dadunon sa Biyahe 2004, Kapulungan, Conversations with Cebuano Writers 2008, and Colocabildo, Dialogues with Cebuano Writers 2009. And some of her awards are NCCA Writers Prize 2014 for Essay in Cebuano Language, CISREP Grant Awardee at the Universitas Gadjah Mada in Yogyakarta, and the Best Dissertation Award from the University of the Philippines, and Lourdes Lonto Cruz Award for Research Excellence last April 30, 2010. Our fourth writer is Lina Espina Moore. Along with other female reporters, Espina established the Philippine Association of Women Writers, or POWW, in 1950. She is a Cebuano writer, novelist, essayist born in Toledo, Cebu. With many writing successes in English under her belt, Espina decided to pen manuscripts in her native Cebuano and send these to Liwayway Publications Cebuano Magazine, Bisaya. Some of her works are Heart of the Lotus, 1970-1982, A Lion in the House, 1980, The Honey, the Locust, 1992, Cuentos, 1985, Choice, 1995. And some of her awards are the Gawad Pambansang Alagad ni Balagtas by Writers Union of the Philippines in 1992, CAA Write Award, Southeast Asian Writers Awards in 1989, Mariano F. Manguera Literature Award in 1992, and the National Fellow for Fiction by the Creative Writing Center of the University of the Philippines in 1995, and the Women in Travel Award in the field of literature in 1992. Our fifth author is Cindy Aranguez Velasquez. She is a Cebuano poet and lyricist. She is the podcast producer and editor of Basabala Kanunay. Her first poetry collection, Lawas, was published in 2016. She is an assistant professor at the University of San Carlos. Some of her works include Ang Damgo ni Aldong, the story of the first undressing ritual of Santo Niño de Cebu, Ang Mga Anak ni Olding, the story of the hanging rice in Cebu, Dagat ug Kinabuhi, translating contemporary Cebuano poetry, and the Pakpak, Mata at Mukha ng Tutubi, sining ng paglipad ng wikang Cebuano. Some of her awards are the Jimmy E. Balakit Award for Poetry in 2009, the Vicente Ranudo Literary Excellence Award in 2019, and the Gawad Urian Best Music in 2020. For our sixth author, we have Esther Tapia. Her poems regularly appeared in literary magazines in English and Cebuano. Esther Tapia's poems are used in textbooks in different colleges and universities in the country. She has also participated in and served as panelist of various writers' workshops organized by literary groups in the country. Her cultural advocacy is to promote the development of Cebuano or Bisaya literature, Cebuano being the language at birth by majority of the Filipinos. Some of her works are The Duhawit, 2018, The Sinugang, 1998, Ikaduhang Haon, 2021. And her awards are the Union ng mga Manunulat sa Pilipinas, Writers Union of the Philippines, Gawad Balagtas Award for Cebuano Poetry in 2019, and the Gawad Komisyon ng Wikang Filipino, Commission of Philippine Languages in 2007. Next, we have Ernesto D. Lariosa. He is also known as Noor Erning, was a Filipino-Visayan writer, poet, and columnist from Cebu, Philippines, and a three-time Palanca awardee in Cebuano short story. In 2003, he was recognized by the Cebu City government as the vanguard of Cebuano literature. Some of his works are Crackshots and Other Stories, translated and edited by Hope Yu, Kaliring, Pinugpong Mga Balak ug Sugilanon, The History of San Fernando, The History of Carmen, Bangaw sa Alimungaw. And these are some of his awards: 2005 Bathalad Writer of the Year, 2006 Bathalad Hall of Famer in Cebuano Poetry, 2011 Cebu Archdiocesan Mass Media Award Best Column Writer, 2013 Cebu Archdiocesan Mass Media Award Best Column Writer, 2013 Tabuan Literary Award from the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and 2019 Bathalad Top 15 Literary Writers in Cebuano in the post-World War II era. Our next contemporary author from the Cebu province is Simeon Dumdum Jr. So he is a former regional trial court judge in Cebu City, Philippines, and is a published poet. He once studied for the priesthood in Galway, Ireland, but left the seminary to take up law. After years of practicing law, he was appointed regional trial court judge. He won prizes for his poetry, which he has published and read in the Philippines and abroad. And his works include The Gift of Sleep, poems, Third World Era, poems, Love in the Time of the Camera, an essay, poems selected anew, poems, My Pledge of Love Cannot Be Broken, essays, A Wilderness, A Journey Through Sacred Time, essays, If I Write You This Poem, Will You Make It Fly, poems, and To the Evening Star, poems. Now let's go on to his awards. First, the Gawad Pambansang Alagad ni Balagtas Award for Poetry in English from the Union ng mga Manunulat sa Pilipinas, or the UMPIL. Don Carlos Palanca Memorial Award for his English poetry, and Manila Critics Circle's National Book Award, Gintong Aklat Golden Book Award, and the Judicial Excellence Awards. Next, we have our second from the last author, Shane Carion. She is a recipient of the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature for her poetry and the Nick O'Kane Literary Award for her fiction. Her work has been chosen by the State University of New York in Binghamton for the AWP Intro Journal Awards for Poetry. She teaches at UP Cebu and is currently on a Fulbright Scholarship. And some of her works are The Queen Sings the Blues, poems 1992 to 2002, The Queen Lives Alone, personal essays, UP Press 2012. He is the editor of Lit Matters, a manual for teaching Philippine literature, the author of travel book, UP Press 2013, then Beast, UP Press 2017. And some of her awards are the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature for her poetry, Nick O'Kane Literary Award for her fiction, American Poets Prize, and the Allen Ginsberg Poetry Awards. And for our last author, we have Cora Almerino. She is a Cebuano Visayan writer, and her poems were included in Sinugang, a Cebuano trio published by Women in Literary Arts in 1999. Some of her works are Sinugang, a Cebuano trio, Pangilin, and Sugmat. Her award is the Don Carlos Palanca Awards 2009. So that was the 10 contemporary authors, all from Cebu province, and I hope you feel proud for being one of the Cebuano and Cebuana after hearing their achievements. So that was all for this video. I hope you learn and enjoy. Thanks for watching.